Hi, I'm Elisa López and I'm here to tell you my story. First, I want to start with a small quote that I really love, and it says, "If you don't love what you do, you won't do it with much conviction or passion." Said by Mia Hamm. Hello everyone, I want to ask you some questions. First of all, do you have a passion? Do you really know what you love? I think most of us will agree that we have that one thing that you wouldn't quit for anything or anyone. Now, has someone or maybe some event has tried to come between you and your passion? Have you ever been told you're not good enough to that thing that you love? Or after a serious injury, you were afraid to go back to that thing? Yeah, I know most of you will relate to this. But do you know Albert Einstein? Many adults didn't trust him. They described him as lazy and thought he was not going to become anyone at life. But the criticism didn't stop him from being one of the most important scientists of the 20th century, and currently the most popular and best known. Now, if we talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, things for him were not easy. He was diagnosed with racing heart. Imagine that. Racing heart, playing soccer. That's not easy. So he had to undergo surgery in order to save his career. He is currently a soccer legend. Bethany Hamilton, do you know her? She was only 13 years old when a shark bit her left arm. But that didn't actually stop her. A month later, she went back to the waves to do what she loved, surfing. These three individuals followed their hearts and did what made them happy. Unfortunately, not everyone acts the same way. In fact, 84% of young people don't follow their passions because they are not confident of themselves. No one trusts them, or they're just feeling fear because of an injury or an accident. I, Elisa Lopez, has a story that involves this. But fortunately, I had a positive mindset when the obstacles were presented in my life. So today I came here to tell my story of how a serious injury made me realize what I really love. You may be wondering, what is the thing that I really love? Well, everyone has a sport, a hobby, a subject, whatever, that makes them feel excited. That one that you fell in love since the beginning. I felt like this about ice skating. With every move, twist, and jump that is made on the ice, I feel like I'm in the happiest place in the world. Some summers ago, I was in a camp, and this is where my story begins. At the camp, we did different activities that involved different sports. On my first day, I was excited because the schedule marked that our third activity was ice skating. Even though I was very enthusiastic, I obviously couldn't speed time up. So, before the activity, I needed to do boxing and swimming. But unfortunately, I had the misfortune that in boxing class was where the problem occurred. In my first activity on my first day. I'm obviously so lucky. What happened was that in the warm up, the coach asked us to run, but I was wearing Crocs. I had not a change of shoes, so my only option was to run with them. A few minutes later, the shoe got stuck on the floor and it came off. At that moment, I didn't notice anything strange and I continued as if nothing had happened because actually I thought so. Until another girl was running behind me, asking me why my foot was all red. I immediately looked down and realized that all my foot was covered with blood. The weird thing is that it didn't hurt until the moment that I saw it. My foot, the sole of my foot was all cut. The first lesson of the day is that don't run with Crocs. The staff member came running to help me and they took me to the doctor from that place. And he examined me and gave me two options. He asked me if I wanted to go home to be taken to a hospital or if I wanted to stay there. I didn't know what to choose, So I had to make a very difficult decision. The only thing that I could think of was that the next activity was ice skating, and I thought my injury was not serious. So after a long time of thinking, I decided to stay. The doctor prohibited me to enter the swimming pool, but it didn't matter to me because the only thing that I wanted to do was skate. The long awaited moment had arrived, and they kept me asking if I was sure I wanted to enter the ice rink because it could be dangerous. But even though my foot hurt a lot, I insisted that I was safe and well. I carefully buckled my skates and stepped into the rink, as if nothing had happened, as if the sole of my foot did not. When I stepped into the ice, I completely forgot my pain in the foot and just enjoyed the moment. I felt free, happy, and calm. At the end of the day, when the day came for me, my scared family immediately took me to the hospital. I kept thinking that it couldn't be something so serious until the doctor said the opposite. He stated that it was a very serious injury that needed surgical correction. He mentioned that unfortunately he couldn't do anything because the car was already there for more than 6 hours, so it was no longer convenient. So the only solution he gave me was some creams, ointments, and absolute rest for a long period of time. And the point is not that. The point is that this didn't scare me. I realized that it was my passion when I reflected on everything that has happened to me. But none of that things had stopped me. Obstacles are not my enemies. At that moment, I had a positive mindset, so when my recuperation was completed, I returned to my passion, ice skating. And you must not create excuses. Not even a global pandemic should stop you from doing what you love. You need to motivate yourself. Albert Einstein once said, I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious. I shall mention that the pandemic affected me drastically, but it didn't stop. Even though the ice rinks are closed, I still train every week at my house with the hope that one day I will return to the ice. Every week I go outside, grab my roller skates, and go skating. I have in my mind that nothing will stop me. I don't leave things until the end because the time it's really important. Time is like money. It's super important. We cannot waste it. And I know I'm not a celebrity. I'm a normal girl with a lot of hobbies that I love. I'm a persistent teenager that never gives up. I'm a hard-working human that tries to put all her effort into what she does. What I have in common with Albert Einstein, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Bethany Hamilton is that I have also have overcome difficult obstacles in my passions. But that didn't care for me. I didn't care about them, and they neither. So you just need to realize that you need to fight against all those obstacles, those monsters that try to take away your passion, happiness, and even your future. There is no evil that lasts more than 100 years, and you don't want to be the first to verify. I recommend one step. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within your strengths the patience and the passion to reach the stars, to change the world. Thank you.